I'm CK. A couple of videos ago I described the Behringer Eurorack rack with integrated power supply. Today I'm going to install a Moog Mother 32 on that so you can see how it goes together, the spacing, the depth, all the things you may be interested in. Hope you enjoy the video. So it's going to be pretty straightforward. Here's the bits, the rack, the Mother 32, a Eurorack power cable, screwdriver one for actually screwing and unscrewing things, the smaller one to move the captive nuts around in the Eurorack. Now somebody did ask me on the other video how deep the power supply was. It is 1.5, 1 and something inches from the ribbon cable connector, so add another 1/4 inch, 1/8 inch for actually plugging the cable in. The one thing you'll notice is the power supply does not go deeper than the ears on the Eurorack mount. So if you can fit the Eurorack mount in your briefcase, in your club unit, in whatever, then you don't have to worry about the power supply at all. So the first thing we're going to do is take the Mother 32 apart. That's pretty straightforward. Just take these screws off, and I'll probably speed up playback while I'm taking the screws off because it's pretty boring. All the screws are out. I'm going to put those aside because I'm not going to use them to mount the unit in the Eurorack. We'll see what we do with that in a bit. So let me pull the Mother out, disconnect this connector, and disconnect this connector. And now we've got Mother 32. As you can see, it's very flat, so it'll fit in there very well. As I was unscrewing it, I realized there will be one challenge with this. There are, as we can see, 1, 2, 3, 4 screw mounts, and these are captive nuts in this, so it's going to be a bit of a pain to slide everything around so it fits together. So now we'll take our Eurorack cable, and the Eurorack cable goes here, and it's marked with the stripe and plus 12 volts, minus 12 volts. So just be sure you put the cable on correctly. I'm surprised they didn't put a keyed connector on here, but I can also understand it because they won't necessarily know what kind of cable you're getting. So that's it. And we're going to put it in here. And what I'm first going to do is take my other little screwdriver and slide all the captive nuts, except for one, to the side, and get them all back in positions that approximate where they're going to go. Huh, interesting. We'll have to do the last one. I was going to say the last one last, but of course we're going to do the last one last. I mean, I'm not going to get it aligned right now. So as you've noticed, probably I didn't do the, I didn't connect the power connector yet. Now, as I said, I'm not going to reuse those screws. I'm going to use Behringer Knurlys. I use Knurlys on almost everything because I like the flexibility of being able to move things around if I need to. So I'll put a couple of turns in. And these are from the knurlies, as I said, are from Befaco. And my guidance to you is, if you would like them and you see them in stock at Thonk or any of the other places where you buy Eurorack, buy them, because in my experience they go out of stock quite frequently. So grab them when you can. They have M2.5 and M3 sizes, so you can find the one you need for your rack. Okay, can we get this? I gotta get another tool. I knew I was going to need this other tool. I said, oh no, just use your screwdrivers. But no, I need a pointy thing. Yeah, this is not, it's not quite, oh yeah, I can get it there. Actually, I'm not going to do that. Okay, I've just made an executive decision. I'm going to slide some of these nuts in there so I have a little flexibility, because there's a little more space here. I may throw another module in there, and I don't want all the nuts just jammed up so I have no flexibility, because as we all know, manufacturers of Eurorack panel units can sometimes have interesting dimensions on their screw mount holes, and some don't allow, they don't have an oval, so it can be, I tightened these up without sliding it all the way over. Think before you do. Okay, now we can slide this over and it goes, it doesn't quite go, there's something pushing. Okay, I've got the Eurorack cable a little bent. There we go. I'll show you what I just did in a second. Okay, the knurlies are all tightened down, it's in there well. What you have to make sure of is the power cable can get trapped in here and cause you a little tension to not be able to slide all the way up. But if you just go in and adjust that. So there it is. As you can see, it barely protrudes past the rail. In fact, it doesn't, except for this one connector, which was the power connector from the built-in power supply in the Mother 32 rack. And we can take the end of our cable. So again, this, I wish they had faced it the other way, because I've got to swing this around like that. And one thing I never noticed on this power supply over the connectors says ×3 and ×4. So I'm assuming what they mean is this can take 3 modules, this can take 4 modules for a total of 7. I'm not sure why that matters if you're doing the right checking on your amperages, but that's okay. So there it is. I'm going to plug it in here. Let me pause for a second. Now I've plugged in the power supply that comes with the Behringer rack, and we'll turn it on. I don't have any output over here. We're at the woodworking side of my shop, so I don't have an amp over here, and I don't want to drag one over, quite frankly. So let's just turn it on. Everything is working fine. So that's it. Very quick and easy. There's no issues with depth. It'll work fine in putting this in my studio rack. So I hope you enjoyed this quick video on doing a Mother 32 into the Behringer rack.